Every single anime season, there's always that one anime that pretty much grabs the anime community by the balls, takes a hold of every one of their interests right away, and won't let them go. Whether it be captivating stories or taking them with a beautiful looking show. Well, for this season, that's Zombie 100. With Studio Bug filmed and having the same director as Komi Can't Communicate, which is a beautiful looking show, this show blesses our eyes with another visual spectacle that is sure to stand out amongst all the shows airing this season. As, in my opinion, this anime probably had the strongest start this season so far, which is crazy considering how Jujutsu Kaisen showed out at its start. However, we'll get into it right away. We'll break down the animation and visuals, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get started. Now, the really big thing I like about this episode is how different and creative this episode really does try to be. From the ways the episode changes the aspect ratio, the usage of color, many different ways the anime tries to use the hypothetical camera, it creates a show that feels aesthetically different from your normal typical anime, and something that is incredibly interesting to look at, and that's what's really good about this anime. A lot of the scenes are incredibly good to look at, and are capable of telling their own stories by themselves with just a simple shot. I mean, the first scene opening up with our main character already tells its own story. We can tell Akira has been here for a long time. The bags under his eyes, the multiple cans and wrappers all over the place. It's really nice that we can see that the life is sucked away from this person before we flash into him at work. Now, work looks a lot more lively, but already you can see something's off. The aspect ratio has already changed, which is something that'll definitely come into play later in this video as I talk about. Our first really notable scene is really cool. It has a nice little camera rotation. Hypothetical camera, there's no real camera. And key animator Kazumi Sato did a really good job on this. Again, I like how the anime starts out like pretty normal, but has some shots here and there that make you think and question some of the things going on. Great touch was the trash cans overflowing. Also, really good perspective on Akira here. I also really like this scene. It's very clever. His room, obviously a darker color as he's pretty much gotten the life drained out of him from work. He basically slaps himself awake as he slaps color back into the scene. You see he's trying to be positive about the workplace, but the anime is creatively showing that that's being stripped away. During this scene where some very messed up stuff happens, the static transitions us to the reality of the scene as the episode becomes more gray, more lifeless, and a small little fisheye effect to show how warped this is becoming. Slowly becoming more and more tired, slowly having the life drained more and more out of him. So this is probably one of the coolest transitions I've ever seen. I really like how this scene specifically is directed. We are slowly seeing more and more color or more and more life drained out of the series and our main character, to the point where we're back where we started at the beginning of the episode. The only things that are showing some signs of color is the TV, but even that is stripped away till everything is black and white. Now we even have this film over the screen. Also, this is so unnecessarily detailed, but when they enter the first person perspective and you see the eyelids closed, showing the eyelashes is just an unnecessary level of detail that this anime just goes that extra mile. Now, obviously when he meets the zombie has color on it, and it flashes back and forth between full color and just black and white. The animation in here is really energetic. I love the character acting, and a great deal of it is key anime by Hayato Tori, who's also had some fantastic work in Komi Can't Communicate, but has done some of my favorite scenes in Summertime Rendering. So yeah, this is like stupidly energetic and really cool. Our next scenes is probably one of the most interesting things I've seen in anime. Obviously, as Akira becomes more and more aware that he's not going to work anymore, more and more color starts to come back into the scene. You have this nice scene where he leaves his suit behind metaphorically, but remember how I mentioned the aspect ratio at the start of the video? The aspect ratio pretty much keeping him confined in this terrible work environment. He literally breaks the aspect ratio as he screams that he's free from work. How do you even come up with that? We're also having this beautiful collection of impact frames. One is like a pencil stroke impact frame that transitions into his eyeball. Gosh, everything here looks so gorgeous. And even while ridiculously crazy stuff is going on, this dude has brought color back into this show, and now everything looks lively and amazing. Again, you have another one of these unconventional shots. Gosh, the storyboards in this episode have just been absolutely phenomenal. Our last scene is pretty good. It starts out with a really nice fisheye perspective. Also, the morphing animation here looks absolutely incredible. I like how this zombie hits the Titan run. Akira's foot is accompanied by really nice wind effects. Love the 2D background. The scene has a really strong build up with explosive impact frames. And my word, once again, look at the effects animation. How explosive this feels. This scene was key animated by Haruyoshi Nomura, who has done some really explosive and powerful animation in Komi Can Communicate as well. And just like you see in Komi Can Communicate, the really nice perspective, the high quantity of effects, the explosive timing, the wonderful impact frames, they're all here. The final scene is also done by Nomura as well. Again, this step just has a really high quantity of effects. You can really feel the force behind it. And also coming out at that fisheye perspective, just amazing. I also better not hear any of you guys down bad for this zombie. This anime, in every sense of the word, feels different. It feels really bold and creative, and has really strong visual storytelling. The amazing storyboards, the really strong shots that really tell their own story, the good, unique use of color, every single thing is really expertly crafted in this episode. And it really does feel like this show has a personality of its own. I like that. I liked anime that try to do something different. It feels bold, it feels unique. And I really did like this episode, and hopefully the anime can be consistent throughout the entirety. With that being said, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and also ring that notification bell so you can get caught up whenever I post, as we're definitely going to be posting a lot as we just hit 800 subs. With that being said, I'm Debunked by Aaron, and I'm signing out.